Hello and happy new year. Welcome back to 2026 with Conversations with Karen and Kat. I'm Karen
Yes.
Scott Green.
And I'm Kat Hardrick.
And it's been a minute, folks. We took some
Yes.
time off for the holidays to spend time with family, get caught up with friends. And we're
Yes.
back.
Live in effect. Hello.
We are back. And so, Kat, what did you do for the holidays?
Basically, girl, I shared my children with their newfound friends and family. And we spent family together at home, and then they all went and we spent like New Year's together. Then they spent Christmas with their friends and their significant others because they have significant others now. And then same thing for the New Year's. We kind of just flip flop,
Hmm.
So girl, I tried to stay up till midnight. But these days, look, I celebrated New Year's with whatever country that's 6 hours ahead of us. So about 12 o'clock, I
I
already
think that might be
celebrated New Year's.
Kenya. But
Right. Or Singapore, somebody
yeah,
was ahead
yeah.
of us. So I celebrated with them because I knew I wasn't gonna make it to 12 o'clock U.S. time, honey. So that was
Yeah.
funny. But yeah, I had a real nice time. Spoiled, my daughter, she's known for her French toast.
Mhm.
Yeah, is it French toast? And she uses this really nice bread, and girl, and she lets it soak overnight. And she does this. It's real good.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like when she takes it out the oven, it looks like a banana nut bread or some
Yeah.
type. And it's real nice. It's not all sweet or anything, but it's really nice, girl. And so I was spoiled. And they cooked dinner. My son and everything. They all we went in the kitchen. Everybody was doing all the cooking. I ain't have to lift a finger. So I
Nice.
love it. Pig out and all
Nice.
that good stuff. What you wind up doing?
We went down to Florida to see my family, spend
Oh
time with
yeah.
them. So we were in South Florida for Christmas.
Mhm.
And then we came back because I'm always back in my house for New Year's.
Mm.
New Year's Eve went to church service. We didn't I
Mhm.
wasn't there for we didn't do watch night service because
Right.
most of our we have a lot of older people in our
Mhm.
congregation. So they're
Mhm.
like, yeah, we can't be out at night like that. So they do it earlier in the evening so folks
Yeah,
are
our church
home.
did too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And had a
I think
great
that's good
service.
because a lot of people do the late church night service. My
Yeah.
thing was about to fall
The
over. I
watch
had to
night.
reach. Yeah, watch night. I was all in the camera. My thing was about to fall over. But I'm glad because my church did the same thing. They had a service earlier for
Mhm.
those individuals because a lot of seniors they don't like to drive when it's late.
Yes.
Plus, I wanted to make sure I was back home with our furry family member because of all the
Yeah.
fireworks and all that stuff. Plus, I really don't like being out with all of that either. So
Makes sense because
how was service? I
it's
know y'all
loud.
had a good service.
We did. We had a really good time. And our 2026 vision is abundant possibilities.
Mm,
So this
mm-hmm,
year is about abundant possibilities.
mm-hmm.
And I am
I,
all for it. I want to see abundant possibilities in my personal life, in my finances, in my
mm-hmm,
business, my
mm-hmm.
career, just everything. Like I receive it.
Facts.
I receive it.
Our vision is fix it in 2026.
Mm.
And we trust in God to restore and heal and fix things in our lives that has been challenging us. And we know a lot of folks do New Year's resolutions and want
Mhm.
to change and do some things, but we're just asking God to just fix those things in our lives. And Lord knows, Pastor always say hands off and hands up because a lot of
Mm.
times we keep trying to hold on to stuff, and Pastor say hands up, hands off, and hands up. And so we started a progressive fast. So the beginning of the year,
Mhm.
just to kind of start off the year right with, fasting and going to God, taking things to the altar and just leaving it there, and just taking your hands off of it and learning how to strengthen, fix your prayer walk.
Mhm.
You know, and I've read the Bible from front to end, but I'm starting one of our we got a Bible reading ministry where we're going to take the Bible and read it through the rest of this year so we
Okay.
can get through it and read it as a group and study it and so forth. So that's pretty good to kick off the year with that. So that's what I want to strengthen my spiritual walk.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
Mhm.
And so you've been busy as a newly elected council member for the city of Snellville, and I know that that's been keeping you busy as you have been meeting with your constituents and,
Mhm. Mhm.
just keeping your nose to the grind. You want to talk a little bit about like
Yeah.
how is it in your first what 60 days?
Six. Yeah. The tenth will be. Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Like I just skipped all the way over December because I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, we were sworn in. Okay. So Atlanta, Snellville does not swear in like everybody else. Mostly everybody gets sworn in January.
Mm-hmm.
But Snellville changed their charter some time ago, maybe like 20 years ago, where we used to get sworn in January too. But now the election is on Tuesday. You get sworn in that following Monday of the very next city council meeting, which is that
Wow.
following Monday. So literally, there's no time to tell anybody, no time to, get family to come and jump on
Yes.
a plane or do any of that arrangements. It's like if you're only in Atlanta, you can, come in and join in. But we had a good time. We showed out. It was a good ceremony. It was standing room only. It was really nice to get sworn in. And then we went to work that night. That was like
Mm-hmm.
my first meeting. And I think I actually voted for something that night. I can't even remember what it was. I was still nervous. I think I just was like, yeah. I think my vote was I second to adjourn the meeting. That was my first official vote. I think, but we've been in session is the word that comes up. We've been having council meetings and whatnot, and it's getting your feet wet, being being present, listening, and studying. So one thing that I want everybody to know is, which I mean I knew, but I didn't know until I started running, because it's our third time, that Georgia Municipal Association provides a mentor to newly elected.
Okay.
And then you have mandatory newly elected training within the state,
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Municipal Association. So that's everybody. And it's hundreds and hundreds of people that converge and have all this training. So you get to meet new people, seasoned folks, and it's a whole ecosystem where you could just plug in and learn about planning and development, the ordinances and budgeting and how to, build economic growth in your community. It's a plethora of classes, and I've been taking advantage of that. I actually started my first class, shoot, I don't know the date, but right after the new year. I've been taking classes. I had a class this week with planning and zoning 101. Actually, just like I said, this week. So we have all of that coming, and I'm sorry, my phone started ringing. Um, we had that, um, different types of training. Let me see what else. We had meetings. We did an amended budget. I had to review an amended budget. We were talking about sanitation, coming up with ideas. The citizens of Snellville, we had
Mm-hmm.
a tax increase because of sanitation. So we were talking about sanitation, and we are getting ready to do a new contract for that. And some of the ideas that I had, which let me say that better. Some of the ideas that I listened to the citizens who poured into me what they would
Okay.
like, I brought to the table, because there's nothing new under the sun. That's one good thing, and you know that I'm out here listening, listening, listening.
Mm-hmm.
And pay as you throw, exemption for 65 and older, not tax, discount for 65 and older, options, just ideas. And when you look around the country, there are other people that are doing one version of that or other types of things that we might be able to consider. Just consider and
Okay.
look into it. What else? We did the amended budget, we did sanitation, we we removed a part of the ordinance or charter that was talking about um, loitering that was
Mm-hmm.
unconstitutional. And I was like, huh. So, it's important for us to read our charter and make sure that there are things in there that needs to be repealed and eliminated if it violates a person's
Yeah.
constitutional right. And
And
I said, okay.
historically in the South, loitering laws were passed. Loitering and vagrancy laws were passed to police Black and brown folks. That has been the
Mm-hmm.
history of loitering laws in this country.
Facts.
Um, so I'm happy to hear that Snellville has worked on getting the unconstitutional language out of
Mm-hmm.
their charter and out of their code.
Exactly. That's exactly what they did, and it was vague because the way it was worded, mm, it's unconstitutional. What makes
Yeah.
something unconstitutional? An example would be if you leave it up to a person for their own discretion to
Yes.
cite you. So that means if you got on those blue glasses, I'm gonna pull you over because you got on blue glasses because you're sitting here. You know, can't do that.
Yeah.
It
But,
needs to be very clear.
it sounds like you hit the ground running like day one. Um on the night you got sworn in, you hit the ground running and you have been busy. I know that you've been busy because I've called you a few times and you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
And speaking of being busy, you have your fifth annual MLK Day coming up. Tell us about that, sis.
All right, girl. Yes, we do have our fifth annual MLK food drive, and that is actually going to be on Saturday, January 17th. We have a new location. I'm excited to say we've already had a partnership with Church on Main, but this time they're actually allowing us to use their facilities to actually not only store and prep, but actually to distribute. So on that Saturday, January 17th, we're going to have our food drive at Church on Main in the heart of Snellville, right across from City Hall. The line is going to open up at 12 o'clock and it's going to be from 12 to 2 or until we run out of food, whichever one comes first.
Okay.
And it's first come, first serve. And because of all the stuff that was going on in the world, from local all the way up, a lot of people have increased their food insecurities. In fact, food pantries was running out of food. Like
Yeah.
it was just right. So we know that the need may even be greater. We're expecting a larger turnout of people in need, unfortunately, but we are all rallying together to make sure we do our best to meet that need. And we have, continued partners, you, Brother Green, holding it down. We got the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Department outreach team, Sergeant Maddox and her crew. Of course, Let 'em Eat, Chef Hank, he always holding it down with us. Greater Eastside Chamber of Commerce is holding it down. And here are just some few other um, commissioner. I had to take a pause. Commissioner Dr. Ladina Bolton. She's like one of our other sponsors who've always rocked with us, and she has a relationship with Bomba Socks. And if
Mm.
anybody knows anything about Bomba Socks, I don't know if you ever felt a pair of them socks, girl. I don't know. They super soft, and a lot
Mhm.
of people. Someone shared a story with me about their mother and Bomba socks. It leaves me right now, but I know they were sharing with me their mom is a senior citizen, and only thing she wanted, girl, was a pair of Bomba socks. So when they got
Wow.
a pair of them Bomba socks, she was super happy. So that it's something about these socks that it really makes people feel good. They feel good on their feet, but it's it's a purchase with a purpose, just like with your business. When you make a purchase with Bomba socks, they donate a pair of socks. So that's really good. So that's why I like having them being part of our organization
Okay.
because you're always paying it forward. So
Okay.
yeah, so again, January 17th, if you're listening to this, not being able to see the video, you're listening on wherever you're getting your podcast stream, go to KarenandKat.com's website. We have an MLK page where you can tap on that page. You either can volunteer, you can sponsor, donate, and if you need the resources, you can actually register. Now, registration does not mean a guarantee, but it helps us. We're trying to
Have a
prepare
head
for the
count.
volume.
Mhm.
Correct. In addition to that, when we um, kind of give data, people like to donate with data, period. You give numbers, then people will be willing to give because they want to make sure that they donate into a cause and they want to see where their money is going. That'll help me be able to say, we serve 50 here or 300 there, what have you. And then that means that we're actually doing the work. And like the young folks
Okay.
say, we're keeping up with our receipts. So
Keeping a
with that being
receipt.
said, make sure y'all check out Conversations with Karen the Cat website,
Yes.
KarenTheCat.com, and you can get all that information and come out because we need prayer warriors. We need people that's going to come out with good attitude, good spirit, because we're meeting people where they are, and you never know how your smile, your kind words can really make a difference in somebody's life. It's going to be cold, rain or shine, so come out
Yes,
and
dress
have fun.
accordingly.
Dress accordingly.
Put
And
on your long johns. And
facts.
to all of our volunteers,
Hmm.
coffee and donuts will be provided by Akoshua Hosi LLC.
That's right. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. Thank you so very much. And you do that every year. We always have some coffee and something warm and fun. So please make sure you come out. The other thing I wanted to say that it is a family event. If you wanted to bring your small ones, I do not mind. It's a family event. Just remember that parents and legal guardians must remain with all minors because it is a drive-through. So vehicles will be moving at all
Mhm.
times. So we want to keep everybody safe. And my number one rule is safety first. And if you, my number, let's see, number one is safety first. Number two is to have fun. And number three is if you follow number one, you're going to have number two. So, so yeah, so that's my motto. I always tell my team, like, this is what we got to do is safety first. And I want the babies to be there because we can teach our young people about philanthropy and giving back and paying it forward.
About
So
service.
that's right.
That
Right. So
your life is not your life is nothing if you're not of service to someone else.
that's right. We're only as strong as our weakest link. And I
Yes.
feel like in the community, and this to be a great country, you look at the least of these, and the good Bible tells you is how you treat the least of these, how you show your love to the Lord. I mean, that's what
Yes.
we believe in the Lord over
Did you
here. So,
clothe me when I was naked? Did you feed me when I was hungry? Did you come into
hmm
the prisons to visit me when I was in
hmm
prison? That is what, if you're talking about, because being a Christian is that you are a follower of Christ. And a follower of Christ means that you have modeled your life in his footsteps.
that's right.
Doesn't mean that you're perfect, but it does mean that if you're a Christian and you're following the tenets of
hmm
Christianity, have I shown love to you?
hmm
Have I done for you when you couldn't do for yourself?
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and I'm not gonna get on my soapbox, but that's what
Get on your soapbox, girl. Look,
you
this
know.
what
Well,
happens when you
we
on your
talk
own show. You can be on your soapbox.
because we talk about this show being our
Ministry.
ministry,
Hmm
and we don't take it lightly. And I am very proud that you've been doing this for 5 years, and I just thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. To just do this little small thing when we come out and give folks donuts and coffee that come to volunteer.
hmm
Because that warm cup of coffee out there in the cold January morning
Girl,
is much
girl.
needed, much appreciated.
Yes.
But this is our ministry, and
hmm
I recognize that this MLK Day is also part of your ministry. It was a vision that you had, that you started, and you've been doing it and executing it for 5 years.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm very modest, and it's hard for me to, you know, toot my horn or,
Hmm.
so thank you for that. I'm trying to do better with that because I always try to just be in the background, and I don't care who does it as long as we're on the same page for doing it because a lot of people are like, go ahead and say, go, go. And I'm like, no, I always say we, we. So thank you for that. That's confirmation for me that I need to be able to, own that. It makes me feel weird to hear.
Receive your flowers, my love. Receive your flowers.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's nothing new under the sun. I volunteer with another nonprofit, which helped me with my mental health in terms of helping other people. And it really did. I say this in my, people ask me about my journey. Volunteering really did save me. It helped to take me out of my space of depression and just sinking, sinking, sinking. And it was just one day at a time, one day at a time.
Hmm.
And even one of my therapists, what's up, Roz? Would like, come on, and and that's how I met one of our guests, John. And we crack up because that interaction wasn't nice when we first got,
Hmm.
you know, and it took two or three times, and then now, that's like my brother, and I'm his sister, and it just came out of just consistently just staying focused on what's the mission, and the mission is to serve,
To
our
serve.
veterans and to be of service in that space. And when I realized how many veterans was coming through this line, because we feed folks once a month, and I mean, people was coming as far as Rome, Georgia, for
Wow.
yeah,
And for those of you who aren't aware, Rome, Georgia is about 2 hours away from Atlanta. 2 hours
mm-hmm,
northwest of Atlanta.
mm-hmm, yep. And to see people come that far, and another thing, I saw somebody on a scooter. I saw somebody catch a cab, and they didn't expect the volume of food. The organization, they give 75 pounds of
Wow.
food. So we tell people, come if you're driving, well, you have to drive. Come with an empty trunk,
So
an
we
empty trunk. They mean it. And people, they just ship stuff to the
yeah,
side.
yeah.
And they like, what? And we literally have to put stuff in the back seat or this. So I
Mhm.
literally, would give people rides sometimes because they caught a cab. And they just thought they were going to get a couple bags, call a
Yeah.
taxi, and jump back and go home. Like, nah. And same thing with the cat with the scooter. Like, what you gonna do? Where we gonna put all of this? Well, you just give what they can carry, and then
Mhm.
they go on. But it made me realize that the need was great. And
Yes.
in my head, because there's nothing new under the sun, great granny said there's nothing new under the sun. If you thought it, somebody already did it. And if you go seek that out and just, get that support to just make it happen. And that's what birthed MLK Day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I just thought about something as you were speaking that we need to also, and we could probably do this on karenandkat.com, is to put up other resources that are available to people on a regular basis. I know that my church, New Bethel AME, at 8350 Rockbridge Road in Lithonia, we have a food pantry every Wednesday, um, that we do, and then once a month on a Saturday. And that the Saturday changes just depending upon when the truck is coming through because we get the
Mm-hmm.
food from the Atlanta Food Bank. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we also have one once a month. So there's the weekly one and then there's the once a month one.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there are other churches as
Like
well that have,
Berean,
yeah, that have storehouse. And what day does Berean do theirs? Do you know?
Friday.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We
and
got
that's
one coming up.
weekly.
Mm-hmm. Monthly.
Monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so we need to put on our website and possibly social media when we post this, collect some information on
Mm-hmm.
local, maybe like look to see what's in Gwinnett. My church isn't in Gwinnett; it's right over the DeKalb Gwinnett line, but we do have that
Mm-hmm.
other property that's in
Right.
Gwinnett. But anyway, put up
And
some,
just putting up all the resources because
yeah.
people watch us all over the place.
Yes. Well,
That's a
I'm
good
I'm
idea.
just I'm just thinking about like what
Local.
what you and I have the capacity
Mm-hmm.
to do. It would be great if we if we could put up all the resources, but
Mm-hmm.
what our team has the ability to gather and post in a
Mm-hmm.
short amount of time because it's something
Oh
we
yeah,
just,
right, right. I love that idea because a
yeah,
lot that's what this whole show is about, giving
the
people
providing
resources and
resources.
access. Yep, and people have no idea. Have
So
absolutely no idea. I love
that
that.
sounds like a great
Mm-hmm.
search for someone on our team to do between tonight and tomorrow when this episode will
Drops.
post,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can have those resources available when this episode posts. Because we are aware, just with federal government workers, over 300,000 uh, federal workers were, um, you know,
Laid
out of the
off.
workforce
Mm-hmm.
under this
Mm-hmm.
current administration, and that has also trickled down into other industries as well. If you were a business who was dependent upon those workers coming into your business to purchase or buy lunch or, pick up things like those, the restaurants and the businesses that are in those city centers have, are impacted by that. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll have the resources up on our website as we are
Yep.
posting this episode that we are aware of.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say, sis? Anything else you want to let the people know about? We're in the planning stages of some great episodes,
Yep.
continuing the conversations that we've been having and new conversations for 2026 because we just want to see conversations with Karen and Kat continue to grow.
Amen, amen. Yes, we do. And I got an announcement. So we'll have that announcement of some upcoming things that we got going on personally. So
Yes.
we'll be announcing that. So stay tuned and stay plugged in for some announcements that we have in our personal lives. I
Okay.
will say that. And the last thing I want to do, there's always an election. Everybody needs to get plugged in. We have school board and judges coming up. And
Oh,
I want to make
yeah.
sure we say that every single time up until, because people sleep on judges and school board.
Please go out
Judges,
and vote for your judges.
please go out and vote for your judges because you only get to vote for judges and school
Hmm.
board one time, and it's not in November. When do they? Jeffrey, May,
May.
May, May. It's in May. So get ready. That's all I
Yes.
have. Yep.
So nothing else from me, but as always, we ask that you subscribe to Conversations with Karen and Kat on YouTube, Facebook, IG, or wherever you get your podcasts. As always, thank you for joining us on this episode of Conversations with Karen and Kat.
Where we are impacting the world one conversation at a time.